Today we're going to be talking about how I passed pathophysiology, and you can too. Let's go. My name is Annalise. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today we're going to be talking about how I passed pathophysiology. And I'm guessing if you're watching, you're either my mother or you also have to take pathophysiology. Pathophysiology is one of the main core classes of nursing school. I actually start nursing school here in less than a week, and I was able to take pathophysiology over the summer, which was really helpful. However, I think that most of my tips will apply in any situation, whether you're taking it online or in class. I have 4 tips for you, which I think are going to be really helpful, so stay tuned to all of them. Number 1, you have to be willing to work hard. And what does that mean? I think I was willing to put my studies before everything else, which is important in all of school, not just nursing school, not just taking pathophysiology. I was willing to say no to hanging out with friends. I was willing to say no to spending time with my family, which is really hard for me because I'm a super extrovert and I love just being around people, but I knew that I wanted a good grade in this class, and so I was willing to work hard for it. I also really love spending time outside, and so for me to say no to going hiking, for me to say no to maybe getting to go play golf or something like that, I was willing to put those wants and those desires aside to make sure that I was prepared, make sure that I knew what was going on in this class. Number 2. Know your learning style. Are you a visual learner? Are you an auditory learner? Are you a hands-on learner? I'm kind of a combination of all of those things, mostly a visual and hands-on learner. And so what does that look like for me? So for a visual learner, I use things like YouTube videos and Picmonic to reinforce learning content. So I have a code for Picmonic. I'll put it down below if you want it. Some of my favorite YouTube channels are Registered Nurse RN, and then I also really like Khan Academy because they draw out pictures and talk you through things. A helpful hint that I have for all 3 of those things actually is to set the playback speed a little bit faster, just so that you can get through stuff a little bit more quickly. If you are an auditory learner, I think even putting those YouTube videos on in the background of you doing something else can help you learn the content as well. Khan Academy uses more pictures. Picmonic does as well, but Nurse Sarah, a lot of times what she does is she'll just talk through things that she has written on her whiteboard. So you don't necessarily need to see her whiteboard to learn the content. So just having that stuff on, maybe while you're doing dishes or while you're cleaning your room or something like that. And then if you are a hands-on learner, something that I did was I rewrote my notes twice. So I have the outline from lecture. I would write all the notes from lecture notes onto that outline, and then I would go and I would type out all of those notes that they were organized, maybe worded differently, that made sense in my mind. And then what I would do is I would hand write by color, and I'll insert a picture of that right here. I would hand write out notes color coded, so certain topics had certain colors. So everything about red blood cells was red, and then there are certain things about red blood cells that I already knew that I didn't need to write down. So these were kind of my last minute notes, the last thing that I looked over before I took a quiz or before I took an exam. Repetition is so important for your brain cells, and for your muscle memory as well. So how does your brain remember that your birthday is your birthday? Because someone told you over and over and over again that that was your birthday. How do you know that your name is what your name is because somebody told you that over and over and over again, and now it's committed to memory. So to be able to memorize what the normal lab values of sodium are, you need to repeat it over and over and over again. If you're an auditory learner, repeat it to yourself, say it out loud over and over and over again. Another thing that I just thought of for auditory learners, there was a word that I couldn't remember what it was, or I can't remember what it is right now, what the word was, but it was some sort of concept that I just literally couldn't remember. And so I had somebody else say that word to me, and I remembered it. So once I had someone else say it out loud, that's when it clicked in my brain. Number 3, exams. How to go into your exams, how to go into your quizzes. So my exams and quizzes were all online. They were timed and we had a webcam on us. And I was really nervous about it because the auditory side of myself, the external processor side of myself, likes to kind of talk out loud sometimes to be able to remember how things go. But it actually wasn't too bad. The first couple of quizzes, I realized that I needed to go slower. So that's my first tip for you under exams, is go slow, read slow. A lot of times they have answers that are only slightly wrong. So for example, if the question is about a certain heart valve condition and it's supposed to be the left AV valve, but the answer says the right AV valve, it's only that small tiny detail that can get that question wrong for you. So you need to read slow, read everything completely, read all of the answers before selecting your right answer. And also don't be afraid to skip a question and come back. I think my other hint with exams is if you cross a question that you don't know the answer to, rely on your knowledge of other body systems to help you make an educated guess about this other question. So if you know that when you're dehydrated, this certain thing shuts down, then this happens, you can work kind of backwards to figure out, oh, well then how does this dehydration work, or whatever it is. That wasn't a very good example. I promise I learned things. Last thing is be willing to give yourself a break. You need you time, and you need you time without pathophysiology. Surprise, actually. So be willing to take study breaks. For me, I would study for maybe 1.5 hours and then take a 20-minute break. Also, you do need social time. You need time to be able to talk to friends. You need time to hang out with your family just for a good, healthy mental status, and then work balance life, just things that we've been told so often that I think get thrown out the window in nursing school, but it's important. Also, within giving yourself a break is you also need to be okay with maybe messing up sometimes. It happens. It's okay. When you mess up, figure out why you messed up. Was it preventable? How can you do better next time? Yeah, being able to forgive yourself is huge. And I think it also will set you up for success in the future, so that you know how to do better next time. So those are kind of my helpful hints. 1, being willing to work hard. 2, know your learning style. 3, how to take exams. And then 4, give yourself a break. So that's all I have. If you have any questions or want further clarification on anything, or if you have any helpful hints about how you studied for pathophysiology, go ahead and put it in the comments below. Be sure you give this video a thumbs up so that I know that you liked it. If you don't want to miss another video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for joining me on this journey towards becoming a nurse, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks, guys.